In this episode, we are going to show you the history of Philippines that happens here in Cebu, the food, how to take a jeepney, the fun personality of Filipinos, and the reality of poverty here in Cebu. During mid-15th century, a European named Ferdinand discovered Philippines. However, he was killed in the Battle of Mactan, which is an island here in Cebu. Next, a guy named Magellan decided to lead the conquest of Philippines. So for over 300 years, Philippines was colonized by Spanish. The Spanish had a war with the Americans and the Americans won. So Philippines belonged to the Americans for a number of years, but now, today, Philippines is free and independent. Do you want to see a kitty cat? So many kitty cats. Yummy. This is some of the rocks, and you can see this used to be coral reef. And look at all these patterns. This is why it's very important to go to a museum so that you have a deeper and better understanding of the world and the country that you're going to. Even you see, this is not your usual rock. These are all the marks of, those coral reef and those coasters rocks. This is very famous in Philippines. This is one of their own local brand which sells grilled chickens, and you can go with a rice, which seems to be refillable, or even the noodles. The best thing about this is that they serve it with the calamansi and a soy sauce, and it just makes everything taste so good. This is a little bit more like Muslim style, even though they are Catholic. So I'm heading to a carbon night market, and the area surrounding here is just full of grocery, and this is where the locals get all the fruit and vegetable produce. It's a pretty interesting place.
Son of a biscuit eater.
That is their very smart way of combining all the benches together, and these are actually their wooden tables and chairs. Oh my god, this space is huge! That is where we came from, and I think somewhere here is where the food are. And you have this row as well. And even over there, this is kind of like, it reminds me of Thailand's weekend night market. As you can see, it's kind of like a family business for most. A lot of kids are helping out. We have a very nice sunset.
Ew!
a lot of hard work. This is already 6 p.m. and people are working really hard to sell stuff. Most tourists will not come here. I'm still trying to find where we can get food as a tourist. I'm at the wrong area. I have found a place where tourists can come and eat. However, the first thing that I saw is a lot of smoke from the food and they don't have a proper exhaust fan. You can see all the smoke around, which means that if you eat here, right, your clothes is gonna smell like the food. So let's check this out. Hello! So cute! Guapo! Guapo!
David Typhoon.
In Philippines, it's a pretty eco-friendly country. Aside from giving paper bags, they also do a lot of recycling. So you'll see things like this.
Sorry, don't have. There are some poor children running around this monument. So a kid was asking me for money, so I just gave him my drink. I'm so thirsty right now. I haven't really eaten I had my breakfast in the hotel, but I haven't really had much food today.
I went to buy some local fruit from the Barracks, and this is sinigang pork, and this is the first thing that I saw. This is a cockroach. I mean, I really want to try local food, but seeing a cockroach in my sinigang soup is not. This is not cool, man. Unfortunately, I realized that even my drink has a cockroach as well. I saw something black floating and I thought it was a seed, but this is actually a sugar cane with calamansi, and this is actually a cockroach. I definitely won't be touching that soup. That cost me 70 peso. It's really sad to see that my soup has a cockroach. I honestly would rather pay 150 peso for my hotel to cook me a good soup. So unfortunately, this is what we mean by sometimes cheap food is not the best option. But I love the people, man.
We'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the windows and the rain is falling. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year, I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the January. Doesn't matter, it's Christmas in my heart. And I can't promise Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this.
Even though I don't have a Christmas tree. It's so nice to see.
And the sunset is just getting better on a blanket.
This belongs to the security guard of the bank. This is the modern bus of Cebu. They will always be shouting around for customers. No. How much? How much?
How much?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Huh?
Where are you going?
Anywhere, maybe 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
10 minutes. How much?
Only 25 pesos, 25.
Okay, 20, around 25 peso for the bus.
Waki, Waki.
They will sort of tell you if it's the last stop and everyone has just alighted. Just alighted from Jeepney. So the Jeepney works in a system where no matter how long your trip is, it costs 13 peso. And you just have to tell the person which area you're heading to, and cross your finger that you're somewhere near where you want to go to. But 13 peso, and if I would have taken the Grab taxi, it's about 150 to 200 pesos. So that's the difference. Very windy. You might get dust on your eyes. You might smell the stench of some of the river, but it's really, really cheap. And like what happened today, we managed to discover a local place, a local night market, because the jeepney passed by the area. So you might want to try if you want to have some adventure. Lucky coin for 2024. Man had a packet of clothing, but he's not wearing it, so I'm not sure why. Today is New Year Day, 1st January of 2024. The roads are, I don't know, this feels like an abandoned city, you know what I mean? Not much people around. Walking on the pavement, sometimes you see a lot of shit, or you smell a lot of pee. This is how Cebu is like. There's a lot of moss and algae on the drain. This is because the water isn't flowing to the drain properly. That's why you will see lots of these around. I think I'm around the lower class district, trying to go to a monument. We are here in this ancestral house. It costs about 100 peso to enter, but there is a staff to give you a bit of explanation of the house. So this house has been passed down to 10 generations and is around 348 years old. And it was said that this is the oldest traditional house here in Philippines. And a lot of like the walls is made from coral, stones, and a lot of artifacts is from 16th century, 17th century. So if you're interested to see how the olden day houses is like, do feel free to come down here. This is the garden area. I really like walking on the pathway like this. There's a lot of small stones and it just feels quite nice to walk on this, especially if you're wearing a shoe. Yeah, modern homes, you don't really walk. You don't really get this kind of experience in modern homes. I like this pebbly garden. This is so traditional that I can actually hear the sound of the people walking above. These stairs reminds me of Laos. Unlike the traditional stairs, right, it's really stiff and small, and this stairs, right, the thickness is quite high and it's actually a lot more comfortable to walk on as compared to the modern day stairs. There is just something about being able to lift your legs up to the knee level, which makes it easier to walk. This is pretty interesting. So they will place a jar of water here. The tap is here, and this is the traditional sink. It's actually made from wood, and the hole will drain all the way down, which happens to be the garden. Apparently there are still houses like this in Asia. This is along the canal. At this very moment, I'm actually quite glad that Singapore government built public housing, because no one should be staying in a house made of steel, metals and steel, and wooden planks which might break anytime, or there's chip that might come out. I mean, it's so hot. How do you expect people to live in a house made from metal, a thin metal? Oh my goodness. So it's good that even in Singapore, proper housing is being built. So, man, see, here's the problem. If this was like a forest, there's trees to provide shade, but you can't have houses like this in a big city where there's sun. It's so freaking hot, and I mean, people can die, right, living in the houses like this. So, man, it's really important for a government to help their own citizens. When the human race is removed from living in a forest environment, there should be proper housing provided in the city. Otherwise, we might as well just live in a forest. You know what I mean? It's just not the right condition for people to live in. Okay, correction. This is where most of the Filipinos are on New Year's Day. They are usually in a church. They are lighting up candles to make their prayers for the brand new year. I just saw one of the local girls. She took a cupboard and she was covering herself with the cupboard, and she was peeing over there. So this is the culture here in Manila. Sorry, here in Cebu. So yeah, but I think the problem here is that the government don't build enough bathroom for the people. So this become part of their. I think there's one more kid behind doing that as well. Unlike developed countries, you have a lot of shopping malls which has bathroom, but in some country, especially in certain province of some country, right, there is barely any bathroom, I guess, which is why I can't tell if it's the habits of the locals or it's just there isn't enough bathroom and people tends to pee on the road and things like that. You'll get arrested if you do that in Singapore. So a kid just came up to me and asked me for money. I just give some coins. She just took it and go. She never said anything to me. In Manila, at least some of the kids will open the door for you and ask for some tips or say things like Merry Christmas. But here in Cebu, people just ask for handout. They just come to you and like, this is really the first country that kids does this to tourists. I guess this is where all the Filipinos are in the mall or in the churches.
In my opinion, Cebu is not a place for snorkeling. Even though Cebu is surrounded by so much coral reef, there isn't really any real beaches around. The best place to dive are actually all the way to the south. It's really hard for you to find someone who will bring you there.